Hello, this is Edwin, and I would like to talk about the difference between input and intake. And I would like to start mentioning, just cutting to the chase, that input it's basically the information that the learner can get, what he can acquire, all the target language that the learner reads and hears. Okay, all the information he can get. Now, on the other hand, intake it refers to part of the input, because I would like to. It's very important to mention that input becomes intake, and this is when the learner comprehends and actually develop an internal grammar of the target language, but in use. But for this to happen, there are some things that I have to mention, because for input to become intake, there are some things that we have to take into consideration. One of the first ones is that all this information gotta be a little bit individual. Okay, what do I mean by individual? Because we have to stimulate we have to stimulate the learners in a personal instructional references. What I mean is, for example, there is a characteristic which is actually called personalized input, which is when all the information is addressed individually to the learner, so he can develop and comprehend even better. And another important characteristic that I want to mention and I want to focus on is in the simplifying input. What is this? It's as much as as clear is the information, okay, it's gonna be better understood for the learner. Okay, so as I have mentioned before, input is the target language, or all the environment that the learner can get, can read, can hear. And intake, it refers specifically to the learner comprehension, when he can actually use or put in practice all what he has acquired. Okay, and intake, it could consciously become input, can unconsciously become intake, which is very important to mention, to emphasize. But there are some characteristics so for this to happen. So this is what I would like to mention about the difference between input and intake. Thank you very much.